Yeah.
The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning.
Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Welcome to Therapy Tuesday with Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning, and I'm gonna hold my mic close to my mouth today.
Okay, all right. Why are you doing that? What happened?
So that I don't sound like I'm in the toilet.
Okay. Who told you sound like you're in the toilet?
A very kind friend.
Oh, very
Okay.
good. Very good. You sound fantastic today, Dr. Jerry.
Thank you.
This
And
makes
we're
us
all
very happy. Yes, this makes us
Yes.
very happy.
And speaking of happy, today we're talking about the pursuit of happy.
Of happy, yes, because in I think in one of the articles or in one of the surveys earlier that was reported earlier in the year, I think in March, Singapore dropped from 30th place to 34th place in the World Happiness Ranking.
That's just a slight difference today. I mean, nothing to be proud of when you're number 30 anyway.
That's true. And I think we're second in Asia, right? Behind Taiwan?
I think we are first leading in Asia.
Oh, leading in Asia. Okay.
I think
All right.
we're leading in Asia. Yes,
I mean, who does
yes.
these surveys? I mean, come on, we can't possibly be the 30th
In the world.
happiest nation in the world. Yeah, exactly. Come on, there's so many other countries that are...
Kosovo. Remember,
so
I think
sad.
Kosovo was better than us.
Exactly,
if I'm not
Kosovo
wrong.
is better than us. You expect me to believe that? Why would
There-
Kosovo
there
be
are-
happier than us?
I don't know Kosovo is which, but the top five.
Okay,
The
all
top
right.
five. The first one is Finland. The second, Denmark, followed by Iceland, Sweden, and the Netherlands.
I don't believe
Okay, yeah. There were quite a few that were ahead of us. Kosovo, Kuwait, Czechia,
that.
Lithuania, Czechia.
Chechnya.
Czechia. Czechia.
Lithuania.
Lithuania
Oh,
as well, yeah.
Okay, Jerry, so you're the psychologist. You're the award-winning psychologist. What's going on here?
Well, they use 6 different measurements: social support, GDP per capita, healthy life expectancy, freedom, generosity, and perception of corruption.
Right, we have all
I
of
like how
that.
the last one. Well, in terms of the perception of corruption, we are pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, what I mean
I
is
would
we have all that under control.
We have all that under control, yes. So actually not so. So the ones that are happy, they look at sharing meals, they look at family time as influencing our happiness. So that's something that we do have. Interestingly, for Singapore, our population feels that, or the younger population feels that they are socially disconnected.
Wait, so
And
this
this,
survey was done with the young ones?
Oh no, so it's done across different age group. But many of the younger population, they feel like they are socially disconnected. So it really dragged down the numbers for us.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So we're blaming the young ones
Yes,
now.
absolutely.
Okay. All right, up next, Illit featuring Ava Max. This is Baby, It's Both. We'll continue to talk to Dr. Geraldine Tan on the Big Show and the Big Show TV. Okay.
Yeah, because I feel
Okay,
like
I
the young
don't
ones don't have a lot of social connection, right?
They don't value so much of like face to face time, that whole sharing a meal together. They assume like I'm connected by my friends via my social media, or my gaming. So they connect via differently, and they feel that disconnect, because they don't know how to interact with people face to face.
Yeah, because
So
they lost a
that's
whole
social.
chunk of years to interact with people during COVID, right?
That too. So many of them have learned a different way of connecting, but then where is their social support? Where is that ability to connect with a person at a different level. So they don't have that, right? So that's where, okay, not all of them, and not let's not just blame the younger ones, but
You blame the
this
younger ones, not us.
and I didn't. The survey did. They highlighted some issues. It's supposed to highlight challenges and issues, right? But it causes high anxiety. So as a result of it, there's a mental health issue, which is high anxiety, which we already see in the community these days, right? Because they are anxious. They are. They have more negative emotions.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
think
something that we notice.
This is a skibbity situation.
our brains are not capable of absorbing the amount of information that we absorb these days. You know, whether it's on your phone, the quick gratification that you get, the responses that you expect from, say, WhatsApp and Instagram and everything else. When you send a response, you need that immediately. Our brains are not built for that. It's too much, and that's why the mental health situation is the way it is now.
It's data overload. So the if we are looking at trying to manage the situation, trying to manage the anxiety, then we need to look at what is happy. So a lot of times people try and find happy, but I always say that happy is a concept.
It's true.
And it's
don't
relative to each person, right?
It's subjective. I don't know whether we can actually find happy. So I think I've said it before. I've changed the word to happy. So I threw away the word happy and I changed the word to, can we find comfort? Can we find contentment? Can we find fulfillment? Yeah. So that's meaning in our lives, right? But is it too myopic? I don't know. I actually just sent over a little survey to Shalini,
Okay.
and it's a 4-point survey that we can quickly do. It's called the General Happiness Scale because many psychologists, scientists attempt to quantify happiness. So this is quick because this is a 4 questions sort of survey.
Correct.
And it's on a like it scale of 7. So the first question is, in general, I consider myself from a scale of 7, from 1, not a happy person, to 7, a very happy person.
Okay.
So you can.
In general, I consider myself okay. So we put number 1.
can-
Okay.
So 1 is not a happy
Yeah.
person. 7, a very happy person. So second question, compared to most of my peers, I consider myself less happy is 1 and more happy is 7. So compared to most of my peers, you rate yourself whether it is 1 to 7, 1 being less happy, 7 being more happy.
Just 4, right?
Okay.
That's it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
4
four.
questions. And then
Okay.
Yeah.
I
I'm done
passed.
with
the
3
third
already.
question. Okay.
Give it
Some
fourth one.
people are generally not very happy, although they are not depressed. Oh no, so I skipped it. Sorry, I skipped the third question. Some people are generally very happy. They enjoy life regardless of what is going on, getting the most out of everything. To what extent does this categorization describe you? Not at all. 1, 7, a great deal.
Okay, done.
So which one are you?
So-
So
So-
yeah, the
Add
last
it up
one is
and then divide.
yes, you add it up and you divide your score by 4.
I'm
So this
6.25.
Wow,
4.
so you're above the
Of course I am.
average. Yeah.
Yes.
But maybe she's bluffing.
No, I'm not bluffing. I'm
you gotta
generally.
be-
I gave myself a 6 across the board and
Hey.
a 7 for the last.
Okay, well, let me see. I don't think I did as well.
I gave 6, 6, 6, and 7. I'll be open with it.
6.5?
So
What is it?
It's
Yeah, 6.5. So you are above.
You're
even-
6.5 as
I'm
well.
6.25. So
Oh.
you're higher than me.
Oh, why? Yeah?
Are you 7 all the way?
No.
No.
6, 6, 7, 7.
Oh, I'm 6667.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're
then.
happy
So
people.
it's a very quick thing.
And then
Yes,
Shalini and
it's a very
Cheyenne got to do also.
survey.
Cheyenne, what you get? Cheyenne?
And the listeners can also do, yeah.
We can put this up, lah.
fast and very quick.
Can we put this up on our
Somewhere.
comment section?
Can
maybe?
be later, so no problem.
Yes.
We can even flash it
So
later
this is-
on the screen.
This is something that one of the free sort of surveys that people can do very quickly. I thought this was fun because this is really just a four question survey and you can be done pretty quickly.
You know why? No, I
Yeah.
think I'm a bit better than you because
I don't think you're
I'm
better
single.
than,
I think
I don't, yeah, but you're like
single, not married,
Glenn,
no children.
Glenn, you're 0.25 above me. It's
No.
not that high. Not much higher.
But still better. What?
You're not better, happier. It's not better.
Can you imagine? Maybe we're not married.
Oh, I'll be 7 all the way.
Just kidding. I'm happy for you if you're married and you're happy. I mean, everyone who's tuned in right now, but it's a nice happy being
It's good being happy.
yeah.
For sure. It is
Yes.
good being happy. We
Yes.
hope everyone's being happy.
And there is the 5 pillars of the PERMA model. So we've heard of positive psychology, right? So I've taken a piece out and we will talk about it on air.
Yeah. Stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the AYE towards Tuas after Lower Delta Roads exit, avoid lane 2 of vehicles broken down. Also on the AYE towards the MCE this time after Pioneer Roads exit, another vehicle has broken down. If you spot anything, WhatsApp us 885550
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It is a Tuesday, and that's why we have Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room with us. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning. I think a lot of people are saying that, happy is not the same as contentment, fulfillment. So there are so many different perspectives out there, which is good. We want people to reflect, and think about things and also, to discover their happy.
This is why I feel like people are so confusing these days. I mean, if we're talking about happy, we include all that in happy lah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, I mean, we're talking about happy, and then some people are like, oh yeah, happy.
It's different from-
It's different from being content and.
Just like Joel said. Joel said, I would like to suggest that feeling happy is different from feeling fulfilled. Is that what you mean, Glenn?
I'm saying,
Michael,
if you're happy, you are all that.
Yeah.
How about that?
All
Just to
that you've
simplify
listed.
things a bit.
Yeah. Why do we have to categorize everything? Just say you're happy.
So you can feel fulfilled, but you're not happy.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean,
Dr. Jerry, is there a
Can you
difference?
please see all of them? No, I think all of them have an issue. They all have problems.
I mean, it is a feeling, right? So happy is a feeling. We teach it as an emotion. So it's very difficult to quantify an emotion or to anchor or to crystallize what happy actually is.
Don't encourage them.
Okay. The 5 pillars
Okay.
of PERMA, and I'm gonna add a H to the PERMA. So PERMA is PERMA. So there's positive emotions, engagement, positive relationships, meaning, and accomplishment. But I feel that this is not very complete, so I added a H because H stands for health. So many people, if they are unhealthy, if they are sick, they're in pain, it does affect their mood also.
Of course,
So
absolutely.
That's why I wanted to add a H there. So what is this PERMA model? So this is in positive psychology, Martin Seligman, and he came up with these 5 pillars. So positive emotion is the ability to do things so that we keep our mood uplifted. Okay, engagement is, to continue to do things that make us happy, right? And we continue to do those. Relationships that are authentic, that are energizing, and to continue to have those connections. So earlier we heard that the population or the people nowadays feel that social disconnect, so they may be lacking in positive or good relationships. And then there's meaning, which is the ikigai, your fulfillment, or having that meaning in life, doing something that is bigger than ourselves. But it doesn't have to be, it can be, doing things that are like volunteering, or
The purpose
even
in
just,
life.
having gratitude, right? And then accomplishment. So this one is interesting. Is what do you think, means, or what do you believe in, and then you go ahead and you do it and you accomplish it.
Glenn's already falling
Glenn
asleep.
is like-
You lost him at P.
I'm like, it's either you're happy or you are unhappy.
Is it that simple, Dr. Jerry?
Yeah.
Is it that simple?
I don't think it's that simple, A lot of people just say you're either happy, sad. So that is so
Simplistic.
It's not only
For
simplistic. I
simpletons.
find that it is a very atrophied toolbox, especially when emotional toolbox, that is, especially when people or when children come to me and all they know is happy, sad, mad, glad. Yes, we teach them the fundamentals.
Happy, sad, glad, mad. They only
Yeah.
teach them four
Okay.
emotions? Is that it?
No, we don't teach them four emotions, but their emotional vocabulary
Right, okay.
becomes very limited.
Limited,
because
okay.
we don't spend that.
They should just be happy or sad. That's it.
No
Are
mad or
you
glad?
happy? Are you sad? That's it. If you are mad, you are also sad. You know what I
And
mean?
if you're glad, that means you're happy.
Exactly.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. Yeah. No, I get you.
scared?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're scared,
If you're
you're mad and sad.
If you're scared, then you're sad.
So he's saying it
Yeah.
should just be positive and negative. That's
Exactly.
it. Positive and negative.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. Here's Daughtry, Mr. Botak himself, feels like tonight on Kiss 92.
I get what Glenn means. Like just box it. Well, not box it, but categorize it as positive
Yeah.
and negative, because under that
Yes.
positive and negative, there's so many terms
Yeah.
that you can use. So are you teaching people new vocabulary, or are you teaching them new emotions?
New
Because
concepts.
new concepts, yeah.
New concepts. I would say new concepts and the way to attain the positivity. Because if you're only, you see, just by us discussing, right, sad, mad, scared, and all of it is classified under sad, a negative emotion. So there's 3 already. And then under positive, there's only glad. So a lot of people
Happy.
are able to find more happy, but a lot of people are able to find more negative emotions, and the negative emotions weigh down heavier on all of us. So you would hear that all the time, right? Like you're having a good day and then one thing goes bad, my entire day is bad.
It's gone. Yeah.
And it takes so much effort to then refocus on the good that had happened in the day. And many times in my center or in the therapy room, I hear people say that because they complain about their partners, destroying the day just because one thing has gone wrong.
Yeah.
But the entire
Like, hey,
day
you've
was
spoiled my day. My
And
day was
that's it.
going so
Oh,
well,
okay.
but you've spoiled my
Yes.
day. And that's just a fact.
And that's all you need.
Yeah.
To ruin your entire day.
Yeah. I'm not going to go back and go like, yeah, but then again, I was, these things happen.
These are
no,
the reasons,
The
yeah.
last thing
Yeah.
is that you messed up my day.
Yeah. That's what she's referring to.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that we would not, if we only focus on positive, we would not have negative. That's not what I'm saying. We have both positive and negative. We need to train ourselves to focus on the positive rather than only looking at the negative.
Okay.
Glenn
Can you
is
imagine
not
how
convinced.
irritating it is? Let's say you go back home and your partner is like in a bad mood, and you are always in a good mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's irritating
But it will
for
also
yeah.
suck that good energy out of you because you can't bounce off your good energy off something bad.
So which is exactly.
You
So-
can't.
So, if what you say is true, then it's going to be
Yep.
very, both parties have to be able to
Imbalanced.
get over whatever unhappiness that he or she has gone through in order to come together and be happy for each other.
It's I get what
it's
you mean,
impossible.
Yeah. It's funny that a negative person can suck more out of
A positive person.
a positive
Yes.
person than the other way around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm
Yeah.
happy and Glenn's upset,
Yeah.
it's gonna be harder for me to say, "Come on,
Yeah.
chin up and be happy and all that." He's still gonna be in his rut.
Correct. I've been with many dark clouds. Let me just tell you that.
But
Because I'm like, what the hell?
yeah, no, I get what you mean. So why is that, Dr. Jerry? Why is it so easy to be sad and be negative and be angry than it is to be happy?
Being negative really just is us dwelling on things that don't go right, and then there's a lot of associations that we link with the negativity, and we link one thing after another thing. We just keep associating it, right? And it's easier because when it's dark, everything just looks dark, everything gets tinted, everything just has that veil over it. Yeah,
Well,
so
and that's
we
why if
cannot
you have a
lift the
partner
blanket.
or friends that are there to inject that positivity
Yeah.
and happiness in your life, and you still don't appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about many
Yeah,
people. I'm
yeah,
not just
for
talking
sure.
about my
Yeah.
situation or situations.
Yeah.
Over the years, right? It's like, I mean, come on. You're lucky enough to have positive, happy people in your life.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have those people, then you would be in a very, very dark
Bad
place.
Yeah. Andre on our Facebook says we categorize too much. We end up getting confused and lose the purpose and joy of life. Simplicity is probably the antidote to a complicated world that we live in.
Yeah, but what is simple, you see, in life? We agree that life is very complex already, but where we place our perspectives or where we choose to look becomes very important also, because I can choose to look at everything that is negative, and we haven't learned how to teach ourselves to focus on the positive. So that's why a lot of people are very upset, resentful. They feel that life is very tiresome because they have not been taught to look at the good part of life. We've been taught to look at the bad side of life so that we can prevent it, we can prepare for it,
Look out
we
for it,
can
yeah.
defend it, defend against it. But when something good comes, in our purview, or it comes in our way, we just brush it off and think that it should happen that way. We don't know how to celebrate it. So then it becomes difficult. Then we need to put double the effort to focus on it and to pay attention to it, I feel.
Kimmy has said on our Facebook that women have a lot more hormonal changes in a month, which makes it hard for us to just keep focusing on the positives. Can we blame our hormones?
You see, at least that's a woman who's
saying
who
it, yeah.
recognizes
Yeah.
why
Our
women
moods fluctuate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Yeah.
Communicate that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Not be a woman who is just going crazy all the time
Without any reason.
and not giving a reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Like sometimes I feel like I'm about to go into a bad mood, whether it's menopause or hormones or whatever it may be. And I tell my husband, I'm like, okay, now's not the time for us to be talking. Let's like leave me alone for a bit.
Right.
Because I'm feeling like depressed. Like sometimes I'll just go into like a really like
Yeah.
sad mode or angry mode. I'm just like, stay out of my way.
Communication, okay, guys and gals.
For
Very,
sure.
very important.
For sure.
Right? Just a little thing like what Angel just said makes
Yeah.
a whole lot of difference because your partner then knows
Leave you alone.
the situation.
Give you some space, yeah.
There's an explanation to the madness.
Yes, and yes, please communicate. Glenn's absolutely right. Okay, we got traffic coming up.
Okay.
Okay, stand by. Sorry, I was playing the psychologist there.
It's okay. You can be.
And I'll write your name.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Tuas at the Topayo entrance, look out for an obstacle. Not quite sure what fell off a truck. On the KJE towards the BKE as well, a little problem with a vehicle there at the BKE Woodlands exit. And finally, on Southbridge Road near Pickering Street, near that junction that is, an accident has been reported. If you see anything else or you have any updates, 8855-0920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Thank you so much for having us on. Our guest for today is Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
So Matthew has
We are going to
come.
be happy.
Yeah, Matthew has come on our Facebook and he has said it's not so much that we don't look at the positives. We do, but I guess we all have different expectations.
True. So expectations come in, and do we expect to see positive, right? That is also a challenge that I want to give everyone, because oftentimes, again, we are trained to look out for the negative. And I like, what you mentioned earlier about communicating the negative. So just focusing on the positive is also not correct. So if we only focus on the positive, that's not right. If we only focus on the negative, that is not right. The life is made up of both positive and negative. So what we are looking at is to expand our positive vocabulary and to balance that up with our negative vocabulary.
I think I like what you said earlier, because a lot of parents bring their children up, giving them warnings.
Yes.
Like this is the warning sign. Be careful, you're gonna fall. Be careful, don't do
Yes.
that. Or be wary of strangers and stuff like that. But it's always about the negative. So kids grow up not knowing what the opposite of that is.
But if you don't say those things, then kids are stupid.
No. Kids are not
They're
stupid.
gullible, sorry, not stupid.
Kids are innocent.
Exactly,
Yeah, it's
innocent,
like
hence
gullible.
gullible. They trust everyone. That's why parents have to warn them.
Correct, but what Dr. Jerry is saying is that everything is a negative that comes towards them. Be careful, don't touch that. It's hot. Be careful this, be careful that. So maybe the vocabulary and the narrative can be slightly different.
Which is important for us to listen out for all these in order for us to feel fulfilled. If we are only deflecting the negative, then even when we reach what we think is a success point, it may feel empty. And that's something that I notice many people feeling. They attain status, they attain titles, but these all come at a cost of deflecting all the negativity, right? And they don't feel happy. So they reach there and then they say, but I'm not happy. I don't know why. I feel very empty. And many of them say they are empty. So until we start filling our bucket of happy or positivity, then just throwing away negativity or trying to field away negativity is not going to help us feel happier or feel
Is it because those people who have like status, like you mentioned, and what else? Status and
Things.
well, all the materials, right?
all the materials. Are they? But are they in a relationship? Do they have a family, or are they like
Everyone's
alone?
different though. I don't think she's talking about just one person. But I think a lot of people like that also, not like that. In general, they set the bar of expectations way too high. And then that goalpost also keeps moving. You know, I've got that car. Now I want another car. Now I've got two cars. I want a third car. I'm just generalizing.
Here's something else for you to think about. You're talking about people with status and a lot of money and all that, and they have like a big happy family and all that.
Yeah.
They're unhappy, you know why? Because they can't enjoy themselves to the max.
Okay.
That's
What do
the
you
reason why.
What do you mean by can't enjoy themselves to the max?
I mean, they want to party and stuff like that, but they can't because they've got their family there.
But you said happy family, so that's a good thing, right?
That's the thing, you see.
But
That's
maybe
the
that
thing.
individual is not happy.
How many situations have we come across that's like that? Someone has a really, really happy family, but is rich to the max. Then the family is not enough. They want more
Yeah,
than just the
because
family.
it's constantly-
But they know they're going out there and doing all these things,
Yeah.
and it's not really, good for the family, if you know what I mean. And that's life, right?
Yeah. The
It's,
people are never satisfied.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Never
People are never
satisfied.
satisfied.
The PERMA model, right? And you look at positive relationships, and we look at what is positive relationship. So you drew up a very important point. If we are attaining all the materials, all the titles, and we lose positive relationships along the way, and all the relationships are either for showing off or for transaction, then it is not a positive relationship. So it doesn't fill your bank, your positive bank at all. And if you're doing for the sake of doing, do you really find meaning? So that's another part of the model, right? Do you actually find meaning in whatever that you're doing? There are many people that I hear, would say, the money is mine. I wouldn't share it with anyone. I wouldn't help anyone in need because they need to go and get it on their own. I worked hard for my money. Why do I need to give anyone? But that's not the point. Sometimes, that part of being a human being is also that altruistic self. I think we spoke about it before. To be able to give someone and to have to support someone is also a positive, meaningful relationship or engagement.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Jerry on the Big Show TV. It's 8:37.
This is brand new. Here's
Okay, we carry on from there.
Yes. So yeah, the meaning of whatever that we are doing, right? So it is sad when they say they are chasing all these materials and they are numb to perhaps even human relationships. So they don't grieve, they don't yearn for anyone. That makes them a very lonely person.
Maul has said on our Facebook, it's normal to experience an emotional roller coaster throughout the day. Extremes of happiness, anger, or sadness within a span of just a few hours. What's difficult is staying consistently at peace with ourselves. We can only achieve that when we have a reliable, safe space we can call our own, where we can be our authentic, true selves.
Yeah, which should be at home
Yes.
with your family.
Or
so
even friends. Some people don't have family to go home to, so it could be your social circle
right.
as well.
But if you do have family, you do have a husband, you do have a wife, then whatever bad that's happened during the day, you should go home and seek comfort
Yes, absolutely.
in your partner.
Yeah, and be able to speak about what happened during your
Exactly.
day, and then hopefully you guys can work it through together and feel better at the end of it.
Just be there to support each other, to
Yeah.
tell each other everything,
Agree.
right?
Agree.
But why don't we have that, huh?
That's positive relationship.
Yeah, why
So-
don't enough people have that, Dr. Jerry?
There's so many
you know?
negative, what do you call, relationships in Singapore. People are just not talking about it.
Yeah, no, I agree with Glenn. There's so many. I feel like, it's so stereotypical for someone to say, oh, he's controlled by his wife, or she's controlled by her husband, or don't say anything, my husband will find out, my wife will there's these are these are general sort of sayings that people say, like, oh, I have to go home early. Why? Because your so and so is going to be jealous that you're out, or things like that. And it's a lot of the time people are having good relationships at home. But then it's the public that's like, oh, are you under control, or are you afraid that someone will find out and all that? Why do people do that?
So we are not schooled in positive language. So if we have that positive language, it would sound like that's very sweet of you. So it could be telling the person that's very considerate of you, that's very loving of you,
To want to go
that's-
home early and spend
wanna go
time. Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Or your spouse really misses you, or your spends such a good time during the evenings. This is
Yeah.
very nice.
Nobody
But
says that. Nobody says
words
that.
are not good enough. Like if my partner says I love you, I'll just go show me.
Actions speak louder than words for
Exactly.
Glenn. Yeah, Glenn's love
Don't
language
just
is
say it.
different.
Yes.
Show
Yes.
it.
I always say, when you see Glenn, go give him a hug.
Okay, there you go. Yes, Glenn
Okay.
loves hugs.
Yes, I love hugs and kisses.
Okay, maybe not the kisses, but yeah, you can.
No,
give
I'm
him a
old school
hug.
Eurasian. It's like
Yeah.
it's like before I think I
We
kiss
used to
every-
kiss on the cheek all the
everyone.
time. Then when COVID came, it's like, yeah, okay, fist bump.
I mean, it's like part of us, right?
Yeah, it's more Western. It's more European. The kissing on the cheek and all that.
Yeah. Not just one cheek, both
Both cheeks. Yeah. Then it went down to one cheek. Then it went down to nothing at all. People don't kiss anymore.
Yeah. But if you want me
I'm
to
not
kiss you,
saying that.
just say, okay, kiss me. I'll
But I
kiss you.
think the kissing has become also very automatic and not sincere anymore. I prefer a good warm hug nowadays.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people are just like autopilot, kiss, but it doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything anymore because it's just something they're used to. But I feel
But
like if
even
I
in
haven't
Europe,
seen
so it doesn't really,
mean anything anymore, it's just tradition,
It's
right?
like a hug.
Yeah, I prefer a hug because I feel like I can feel the warmth in someone's hug more than just the kissing.
Yep.
I'm just so used to kissing. So I mean, I used to kiss my granduncles as well. When they come over. It's not just like kissing the ladies.
Yeah, of course, yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Matthew has found your spirit animal, Glenn.
Sorry,
Matthew has found your spirit animal,
what is that?
Elmo. Because you're constantly happy and you're bouncing
Oh.
around and you want to give everyone hugs and kisses. You're just not red. With a squeaky voice.
Okay.
And that is really good. That is so cute. I can just imagine. Glenn, can you do a
Elmo's voice?
I've never been an Elmo
You
fan.
don't know Elmo's voice?
I know Elmo, but
It's like la 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 Elmo's world.
I think I was more a Grover. Yeah, Grover is like the blue version of Elmo, right?
Grover and Elmo are not the same.
Oh,
They're not
okay.
even versions of each other. No.
As you can tell, I'm not exactly like a Muppet fan.
They're okay. Yeah. Okay.
Maybe like Kermit the Frog or
You're more
no.
Kermit.
I don't know.
Kermit is a Muppet.
Guy Smiley.
Guy, you can be the chef, the one who doesn't really speak. Okay, Dr. Jerry. Sorry, we digress.
I thought Sesame Street. No, but it's lovely that yours. I grew up at Sesame Street, right? So they do teach positive, relationship. They do have a balance of negativity in there also.
Really?
And yeah, so the Oscar the Grouch,
Oh, yes.
Yes.
and then you have the I forget what the mammoth is called.
Oh,
originally,
Mr.
but he
Snuffleupagus.
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah.
That was Big Bird's best friend, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Snuffleupagus.
Everyone thought it was an imaginary
Yes, yeah.
elephant.
But he embodied the depressive,
Yeah.
grouchy,
Oh, he was always dragging his feet. Yeah.
And you will always see one of those characters, but he enjoyed Big Bird's company and they enjoyed each other's company. So there's a lot of positivity that goes on that we need to learn how to talk about it, right? So to say, I celebrate you or I feel grateful for, these are words that we keep training the young ones to speak, and we train ourselves to speak, but so many of them feel that it is cringy, it is unnatural, it is uncomfortable. So just highlighting it is, yes, we can talk about wanting to be happy, but we need to learn how to be happy.
I love the smell of
His happiness.
no, the marker. You get
marker.
some-
You're not paying attention, Glenn.
Sorry. I love the smell of marker. I love the smell of glue. I love the smell of petrol.
Right?
It's very strange. We got a minute left on the Big Show TV.
Okay, so
my
when we go back
inhaler.
on air, I'll give 5 things that we can try, this week.
Okay,
And
we got to keep
so,
it very short on air because it's our last
Okay.
talk set.
Okay, you can wrap.
Okay. But I can say it now. 6 things actually. So connect with people. Okay. Be physically active. Learn new things. Give to one other person. Okay. This week, and then be present to whatever that you're doing. Just one thing, and then the last one is complete one thing that you had put off since the beginning of the year.
All right,
Okay,
well done.
nice.
Stand by.
Hang on.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE heading east to the airport at the Stevens Road exit, look out for an accident. Also, if you're on the CTE heading towards the SLE, heavier traffic as more than normal because after the Brattle Road exit, a vehicle has broken down in lane 5. On the TPE towards the SLE after the Pongal Road exit, another broken down vehicle. On the PIE towards the airport after Bukit Batok East Avenue 3, also another vehicle. On the PIE towards Tuas, an obstacle has been spotted at the Toa Payoh entrance. And finally, in the city at the junction of Pickering Street and Southbridge Road, an accident. Wherever you are this Tuesday morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are at the tail end of today's show. Our guest, of course, Dr. Geraldine Tan, award-winning psychologist from the Therapy Room. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
All right, it's time to
And-
wrap.
Yes. So homework for everyone. I'm gonna change connect with other people. So I wanna give us some homework we can try this week. 6 things. 1, bring a drink to someone, anyone.
Okay.
So just give a drink to someone. 2, take a walk, a 5-minute walk every day. Let's see if we can do that. And it's not trying to go and get food or trying to get coffee. No, it's actually a walk.
Only 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's a short walk.
Well,
yeah.
you can. Some people, tell me they don't have time. So let's see if 5 minutes or 15 minutes. If 15 minutes, great.
Okay.
Let's learn one thing new. So let's challenge you. If you don't know how to whistle, you learn how to whistle. If you don't know how to snap your fingers, you learn how to snap your fingers. Something small, okay?
The whole team needs to learn how to whistle.
And then the 4th one is to give to someone, so you can do a little donation, and then be mindful of one thing this week, and to complete one task that you had put off since the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Yes. And Buddha says, sometimes it is better to be kind than to be right. We do not need an intelligent mind that speaks, but a patient heart that listens.
It's a long quote.
I like that. It's from Buddha. Stop it.
Yeah, I know.
It's a good quote. Nice one, Dr. Jerry. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Jerry.
I appreciate both of you. I love both of you, and I love
love
the
you too.
producers behind the buttons.
Behind the buttons, yes.
They love you too. They're giving you hearts right now.
We love you.
Okay, thank you so much, Jerry. We'll see you next week, okay?
We'll see you. Bye bye.
All right, take care. That was Dr. Geraldine Tan of the Therapy Room. Up next, Crash Adams. This is Give Me a on Kiss 92.
Sometimes